Start the recording, and we are Gucci. All right, so first of many more of these. Hopefully, this is Blueprint members only live consulting, where we're going out and we're asking you guys to send us some of your problems that you're having with clients, something that you might be having with the training, to give you a little bit more one-on-one FaceTime with David and myself to really deep dive into some big problems that you guys can't solve on your own. So today we've got. I'm gonna butcher your name, man.
Yeah. Just go with Ken. Ken works.
Ken is perfect. So we got Ken here. Ken hit the form and he submitted a question in regards to, it looks like it's for a real estate investing. Do you want to just give us a little background here about the challenges and what's going on?
Yeah, sure. So I'm kind of new to the whole SEO space. I started last year just going through like the backlink, going for content, and I got initial results with a friend's website. So that's why I decided to go into SEO a little bit deeper. So that's how I'm here right now. Okay. So a buddy of mine, he's running he has an investment company in real estate space. And for investment, let me do the screen share, yeah?
Yeah, please.
So in the investment space, usually there are certain keywords that are really valuable. Hold on, let me see. So for instance, I'm in Los Angeles, right? So like whenever people want to sell their houses really fast, like they just Google sell house fast, sell home fast, or sell house fast, right? And these keywords are like CPC is like $56 because it's a really hot market. But what and he's kind of in this space and he's thinking about starting a website, and he asked me like if I could look into the SEO part of it. And when I looked at the keyword difficulty from the perspective of just SEO, it's actually not that hard. I think it was like somewhere between 8 and 20. I'm not sure how relevant that is.
I'm gonna continuously cut you off here. Don't take it personally, just so I can ask follow-up questions. Where did you get that metric from?
I did it from, I think, Ahrefs.
Okay. I'm just gonna say this while we're on it. I don't love keyword difficulty metrics. It's not that they're not overly accurate. I've personally never used them before. I've never found a lot of value in them just because, for a lot of reasons. So I wouldn't just not use, just for the future, the keyword difficulty as like an overall, like I'm not going to do this, or it's too easy, or it's too difficult because of that. So just for the record, but sorry, continue.
Okay. But again, like that's where I looked at it. I was like, wow, this is crazy, right? Like, when I believe that keyword difficulty is relevant. So, and then I started looking through all the websites that are using, hold on, just need to, yeah, here we go, better. So I started looking through all the websites that populate when I do the keyword, when I put like sell home fast, and basically it's all the things, all the companies that are local to this area. Most of them, like the first maybe 5-6 results are local stuff, and then it goes into the national. And when I started looking into the local, it seems like everyone, all these like top 3-5 searches, they come, they're built using this thing, because like you basically go like this, right? Like number 1 search result. And you start looking into it, and you go down, just really random. Looks horrible. Like the whole website looks horrible.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why is it number 1? And just like it's like a dump of information. It's like location dump. Like it's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But then it says powered by Investicare, right? You go over there, and that's where you come. It's some sort of
okay. I know where this is going. So Carrots is probably a CMS. This is actually, I think it's a brilliant business model for them. I see it with a lot of gyms too. Basically, it's for people who want more of a kind of like WYSIWYG done for you solution. That ranking doesn't have anything to do with the fact that they run on Carrot. It's just like WordPress. Same thing as WordPress. Same thing as Drupal. Same thing as Wix. It's basically just a way that they manage their content. It looks like they're probably also doing a little bit more support in regards to, marketing, how to get stuff up and running, but they're not getting any extra authority from running on Carrot, right? Again, I haven't really looked into it, but it looks like this is just a platform built specifically for those customers, or for that niche. and you know, they're just selling them in and probably giving them some sort of like pre-done templates and solutions. So continue. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly what I thought in the beginning. But then, like, you start looking at what they have. So I started looking in the domain overview
Okay.
of the like property solutions, and they have like interesting, and it's like all the websites that are on Carrot, they have kind of very similar. Like they're nothingness, and after that, all of a sudden the
Mm-hmm.
traffic picks up. And from the perspective of the Carrot, they basically saying, I think when I actually looked into it, that they basically saying that they will generate amazing SEO for you, SEO traffic, like organic traffic, by using that, by using their platform.
Yep.
So that's what I'm thinking, like where this 4.7 thousand backlinks coming on, and it's like all of a sudden December 2018 it was nothing.
Yep.
And then it just blows up like that.
Can you show me some of those? Just click on the links. Let's take a look at them.
Which links?
The backlinks. I want to see in SEMrush. Yet.
Just press on
it.
Yeah.
I want to determine to see. So we actually had a client at our agency that did this exact same thing, and we buy houses, we sell houses, we got them ranking. I'll like kind of walk you through what I believe the formula is for this industry and this niche and how to do it. But I want to make sure. So backlinks, you understand the difference also between referring domains and backlinks, right?
Between what and what?
Referring domains and backlinks.
So you could have many backlinks from the same referring domain.
Yes,
basically.
Exactly. So what we want to hone in on is referring domains, not total backlinks. Google's not going to place a lot more value on, if you have 1 million backlinks but only one referring domain, you basically only have one backlink. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So what we want to do is we want to try and understand what, how, and where some of these links are coming from. So just scroll down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So like Street Breakers, open up one of those. So here, this would be my theory, right? So I already see this here. So I have two theories now. One is definite. One is that Carrot, by using Carrot, if they're saying that like we're going to help with SEO, if they're like really kind of smart and a little bit gray hat, what they might be doing is like setting up their own link networks on the Carrot network. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I thought maybe it's PBNs. They have like a big network of PBNs, and the moment you basically sign up with them, they connect to you. They start all.
Yeah, I don't think that's I mean, it might be the case, but what I would probably hypothesize is that if we go down a little bit where it says SEO on-page optimization guide, it's coming from the Hoth, which is a link building agency. So this one in particular. So like one quick question. Is this the only website that you looked at that's on Carrot, or have you looked at other competitors that are also running on Carrot?
I looked at other competitors. Basically, the whole like top 5 to 10 results in like different cities. Everything is on Carrot, and it's like kind of suspicious.
And
like everyone is using the same thing.
Have you compared their links to see if they're coming from?
If it's the same domains.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, so that's what I would do. I would say look at.
You would just go to like referring domains and compare different like.
Yeah, just keep on dumping in probably like 4 or 5 different ones. I don't know if do you have Ahrefs or no?
Yeah.
Okay, this is fine for now, but I would just say Ahrefs. So when it comes to link analysis, Ahrefs is definitely a better solution than SEMrush.
So you would just go to like link domains over here?
No, that's outgoing. I would go on the left-hand side. Yeah, just go to backlinks up top. Like that.
Referring domains right there.
No, stay on backlinks up because I'm going to show you how to filter this the right way. So go to it says group similar, 1 link per domain. And then link type. Hit that drop down. Do follow.
Okay. And basically, this is the one that brings authority to the.
Exactly. So, and this gives us a little bit more information too. It shows the whole page. So like Street Breakers is interesting, right? Think about it this way. If you had a website, and this is the homepage, it looks like too. So they got a homepage from Street Breakers. They got a link from streetbreakers.org. That the title of the website is We Buy Houses. So like, why would a website that buys houses link from the homepage to another competitor website? Like, what
Yeah.
does it tell you? That tells me right off the bat that there's some sort of either link scheme or phishing is open. So let's open up that domain and take a look at it. And you can see all this shit too when you go down like that. It's a very common pattern here. So just looking at this, I would say, I mean,
Comments, yeah.
this is a PBN without a doubt. Yeah, I mean, this is a dead giveaway. Whenever there's a website that's just listing all their blog posts on the homepage, that are all the same thing. I mean, so here's the thing is that some of the stuff still works, right? I wouldn't recommend doing it, but this is either coming from the Hoth, which is a link building company that does mediocre. I wouldn't recommend them to you guys in the blueprint, but they do like mediocre link building services for pretty cheap. These are just paid links. So basically, again, while I don't recommend using these tactics, like just going out using PBNs, just buying links, it's not the long way to do things. It's working, and it's clearly working across this industry. So, look, I would say two things. I would say number one, just based on this, have you built the website yet?
It's in the process of building.
On Carrot?
No, I haven't done Carrot.
Okay, so I would set up a call with Carrot and try to dig into to determine where these links are coming. If Carrot's giving them these links, then I don't love it, but I mean, it works. You know what I'm saying? So I would dig into Carrot, and we got some comments here. Dope. So someone just commented it too. They probably figured out the link profile needed to rank and rinse repeat for the client's PBN. Exactly. So whoever just made that point, thank you again. Change your name because you're showing up as David Krebel. We got like 30 David Krebels in here right now. But that's a great point. That's exactly where I was getting to, was that somebody, it was either Carrot, who has like a lot of these companies too, usually started as a digital marketer, like usually SEOs that just kind of figured out like, oh wow, I can actually build a software or CMS platform catering specifically to these people, because my big competitive advantage is I can help you get traffic after the build, which at the end of the day is the most important thing. So they're basically productizing their SEO service to the point where they built some tech and then they're selling that tech, but really they're selling SEO service. I don't know that for a fact. That's why I would really, I would strongly suggest you take an hour of your day and set up a call with Carrot, a sales call, and see if you can dig into a little bit more information and bring this up to them. Just be like, hey, look at, we're having this talk because a lot of the websites you guys work with are ranking for the keywords we want to. That's awesome. That's what we're interested in too. But like, I just want to make sure that things are being done the right way, because clearly these are PBN links, as that person alluded to. I wouldn't suggest doing that. I always live by the theory that just because it works doesn't make it right. That this could be corrected in the future, and it's only a matter of time before something comes in and just wipes it out, which is good if you're doing it the right way, because then you automatically leapfrog to the top. But again, like, I would talk to Carrot, see if this is and then also do a little bit more competitive analysis with those competitors to just kind of see like all the ones that are on Carrot, are they all getting links from these same domains? Because that would tell me right away that, yeah, there's something that Carrot is doing on the back end. They probably just got a huge PBN network that they can throw these up for low cost, just out of the, the monthly fee that you're paying them, just like Shopify, to get some links and get some rankings. It also probably looks like too, I would also do just kind of like an on-page and topical content competitive analysis between the sites on Carrot to see if the site builds are all the same.
They are very similar.
So again, I don't love that. I've made a career out of kind of seeing what works, but not following the norm trend. Like, I don't want to just push blindly into something just because it works. I want to see what works, understand it, and then apply the right tactics and thought process to it to make sure we're doing it the right way. So what they're doing with all those location pages, so going back to the client that we had that was in this exact space that we got to rank across the board, it actually ended up, ironically enough, they ended up getting hit with a link penalty, not because of us, but because of the past links they were doing in the past. Very similar to this. They were just, links they were ranking. We came in and did like a major on-page overhaul for them. So like setting up the proper URL architecture, which it looks like Carrot is doing, which is basically just based on location. It can get a little bit spammy if you're going like all the way down to zip code, but if you're doing this based on location, like city, just like, we buy a house in San Francisco, what I would suggest when doing that, and this is what we did for that client that really worked well, was instead of just spinning the same content over and over and over again, actually spending the time to pay a writer to go through and write that properly. So when I say properly, that means, okay, let's say you want to go after San Francisco, San Diego, Los Angeles, Portland, Oregon, San Jose, those 5 markets, or however many you want, right?
Got it.
What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that you're following like proper on-page practices for each of those. Meaning, what a lot of these companies will do is they'll write one article that's keyword heavy, keyword stuffed, just talks about buying houses in San Diego. It can work for rankings short term, but at the end of the day too, like if that ranks and you go to that page and then you read the article and you're like, this doesn't really help me out much, you're not going to convert into a lead, right? So what we want to do is we want to take a little bit more strategic approach and a little bit more longhand approach to being like, okay, if I am looking to buy houses in San Diego, like if I'm looking to sell a house or buy a house or whatever it is, like what is the information I'm looking for that's going to help me convert? So building out those pages properly, and then also adding in a lot of like hyper local information that's specifically speaking to San Francisco people versus San Jose, right? Like what are those nuances that you can do that can do that? So again, I'm not overly familiar with this industry, but like if this was real estate, just kind of like a real estate agent selling a home, and these category pages work really well. So like here in Miami, I do a lot of consulting for real estate agents that help them to set up category pages by neighborhood, right? So like South Beach, Mid Beach, Wynwood, Midtown, Downtown, etc., right? And then on those pages, what are the things hyper specific to those neighborhoods that we can generate in terms of content that are going to help attract people to want to buy a home in that area, right? It's the same thought process that you want to apply to this. So like making those pages, like what Carrot has done is they've proven the model in terms of architecture. We know that works. But what we can do is we can take one step up and improve it to not only safeguard ourselves from a potential algorithm update, but by focusing the content more on users and how we can get to the page, number one, which is step one, but then number two is getting them to pick up the phone and call or hitting a form. And a lot of that is just done by improved copywriting, better media. Can we put like some custom videos on the page that speak specifically to that neighborhood? All that stuff, right? So that's what I would say in regards to that. And then also the links too. Traditional link building tactics here work. It's proven that these things work. You just got to hit them with the right type of links. But I would still talk to Carrot too to see if that's the case. If not, then I would just hypothesize that they're buying these directly from the Hoff, just because there's a page linking from the Hoff that's giving us that footprint right there. You know what I mean?
Got it. And as far as link building, you said the Hoff is kind of like a medium quality. What is the best quality like link site? For instance, someone just needs it done.
Yeah, that's a great question. So in regards to vendors, we've got a few in the blueprint that you guys get discounts to. I really like No BS link building. They're a lot more expensive than like the Hoff is probably like 40 to 80 bucks per link. But this is what you're getting. You're getting these just kind of like random articles on a random website with all sorts of other crap on it. No BS. And again, we have a lifetime discount code for you guys in there. I think it's like 10% or 10 bucks off. But No BS is doing outreach. What they do is they go out and they find you pay them, I think it's $100 to prospect to bring you a list of websites, right? So you're paying them for their time to go out and find the websites that are in your niche, relevant to you, real websites that have basically accepted the fact that they will work with you on a pay-per-link basis, right? And then you will pay that website directly for the placement fee with no extra payment to No BS, right? So you're basically paying them to do the prospecting, and then you just pay the additional fee on top of that. Again, it's more expensive, but like when you think about this in two ways, number one is that I do links as a long-term investment now, right? Like we don't want to turn around traffic tomorrow. And we want that traffic to last for a long time. Like I can already see from their link profile too. You'll see if you go to Ahrefs, it'll say like link removed. Like we don't want that to happen. It's a bad look. It's a negative sign to Google that the links you're acquiring are shitty and the site got took down or the person removed the post, whatever. And then number two is also looking at it like somebody had a good post talking about the value of a link to the business or how much you should be charging. And I look at it as like the long-term value of that page. If you rank that page first in Google, like how much business is that going to drive? How much revenue? What is the value of that page? So when you look at it from that over a 2, 3, 4, 5-year period, we're talking about tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Spending an extra, if you go to the Hoff, you'll probably spend $500 on links. If you go to No BS or Charles Floats, which is in there too, I forget the name of it. I think DFY links is good too. Probably spend upwards of like $2,000 on the links. but they're going to be just a lot better quality. So that's what I would recommend for getting links. Or you can do it the longhand way, like we teach in the blueprint, which is outreach. But if they're not paying you enough to do outreach, then I would just rely on vendors. And like what I always do now, and highly recommend to anyone watching this, if you use link vendors, whenever you work with a client, be honest with them. Tell them like, hey, look at your, how much are they paying you for this?
I'm thinking it's basically probably whatever I will. I haven't really come up with a price for it. I'm just building a website for them right now. So I'm kind of like, this is like the next step for the service.
Gotcha.
So I need to figure out how much time I actually have to spend on this in order to kind of get to the first page.
Gotcha.
You know?
Yeah, no, I feel you. And if you're just getting started, I understand that completely. I respect the hustle. I respect the fact that you're, starting with who you can to get things going. But hypothetically, let's say that you end up on $500. That's generally like a starting retainer. Yeah, you want more, huh? More or less?
No. I'm thinking like at least $2,000.
Okay. Good. But even that. So my point is with these. So let's say you come up with $2,000, and I agree. Like that's. I think that's a good price for something in this space that they would be willing to pay. Also to compensate you for your time. Clint just said you're going to need at least $2,000. I agree 100%. In that $2,000 though, if you decide to use link vendors, which I think you should in this case, just because it's only you and you're just not gonna have the time to do link building properly, you need to build in a monthly budget for links. And that starts now, that conversation starts now. And this is awesome that you're doing so much competitive research. And I know that they probably don't understand it, but you need to start having that conversation now to like, and this is key for everyone who wants to increase their budgets. It really starts in the conversation research phase to like really let the client know this is what's going on. You're basically paying me for my time, my strategic consulting. I'm going to do the website. I'm going to fix all that stuff. But there's other factors like links that I can't include in this budget, in the $2,000. You can explain to them, you can take care of the website, the structure, the architecture, the research, all product communications, all that stuff. But what you need to get an additional budget for is links. And you need to explain to them, just like you explained to me, how you found these, 167 other domains, that it's going to take them probably like 3 to 6 months of like link acquisition after the site is done to really pick up the rankings, and that they need to invest in you and invest in trusting you, that you're going to get that done. It's a really, really, really important conversation that you need to have with clients, both to manage expectations, but also to get the money that you need. So you're not constantly like, if you have to take that $2,000, $3,000, even $4,000, right, that you're getting paid for this and dig out of your pocket to pay for links, you're not only going to erode your margins, but like trying to manage your margins and manage the business side of your agency is going to be really difficult. So like, go ahead.
Okay. I mean, I got the economics of it. So the next question is, they also just changed like the branding of the company. So they have the old domain that they bought like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yep.
And now they just bought a brand new one. So I know like when you have a brand new domain, it's even harder to rank that because like a brand new domain. Is it possible to somehow like float over like the I don't know, the age of the domain to the new domain?
Absolutely. Just 3-1 redirect it.
Okay.
But when you do that, what you're going to want to do first is get just use Screaming Frog because it's free, but get a full crawl of that website, right? So you have every single URL on that website. And as you're, so like when you're, let me ask you this, when you're building the new website on the new domain, is it going to be exact replica of the old one in terms of pages?
No, because they didn't have like location pages or anything like that.
Okay, so what you're going to want to do then is you're going to want to do what I call 3-1 mapping. So you have the list of the old site URLs. You need to build a sitemap for the new site and all the pages that are going to be there with the exact URL structures. That's really important. Like you need to, it's actually good that you do this to define those URL structures beforehand. But then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go through and just say this old one should go to here. This one should go to here. This one should go to here. So it's called redirect mapping to just push that will push the equity at a 1-to-1 level. It's better than just like you could just go and like have a developer put like server side redirect the entire old domain into the new one. But you lose a little bit of equity because what happens if you go through at the URL level and let's say like the blog post, you want to move the blog post over and some of their old blog posts like got some links, you can pass that equity at a 1-to-1 level to the new site, which will literally pass the ranking, pass the link, everything over on day one. So that site will actually rank a lot faster if you're able to do that. So this isn't a brand new site. Actually, you're actually working with an old website, which is really good. You're just starting from scratch, which is actually what I would recommend to a lot of people.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. I pretty much, I think this was it.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think 26 minutes. Okay.
Nope.
Just one more question. As far as like, I think when you recently talking about like hiring people, right?
Yeah.
How do you find like a local SEO people?
Like local as in LA?
Like, because if you want to hire, like, I started looking at on people on Upwork, and I'm talking to people on Upwork, but at the same time, it seems like having someone local is important because in your course, you're saying like one local per like 3 outsourced or something that's pretty much.
So again, like whenever I do those videos, I mean, like you said, you understand the economics of it. It's really hard for me to generalize because LA is different than fucking Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? So like it's the unit economics are different. They don't match up. It's more about, which is awesome that you're having this thought process now. Like you should be starting to think about like, okay, if I'm going to bring in somebody local in the LA market, just do some research on like Glassdoor to see what they're paying people locally for that position. So you can start to understand, like, you know, based on your revenue, based on whatever, based on that. But like I 100% all on, like I love offshore, I love VAs, but you definitely get to a point where your clients require more attention, they require better communication. And I actually did a interview yesterday, in a webinar yesterday, where we talked about this exact thing. I'll send you the link afterwards so you can see it, where I spoke specifically about the difference between hiring offshore and local and when to do that. But like basically, if you need someone who, like, to use the offshore people, you want to use them only to do very specific tasks, right? Like link prospecting, you know, data entry thing. And this sounds bad, and I don't want to offend anyone, but they, you know, have a different mindset of how to. If you're like, hey, I want to hire you to do local SEO, they're going to do it the way they know, right?
Yeah.
You want local people because they can communicate to local people and they can think strategically, right? So if you hire a local SEO manager, absolutely, they need to be 100% in your office every day, working with you, learning from you, using the blueprint. But you know what I'm saying? And for those people, honestly, like I've gotten people from Craigslist, I've gotten people from, I've gone to like different meetup groups of like, so I'll go to like, you know, on meetup.com and I'll see like any like marketing events that are coming up in Miami. I got somebody from there one time. I had a LinkedIn job post. Just posting on social networks, you know what I'm saying? Like people are always looking for new opportunities, especially if you really sell the fact that like, hey, you know, we're a startup, you're going to like, basically it's employee number one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, that's a huge selling point to a lot of young people, especially who want to, you know, grow with a company, have opportunity, not are set in one role. But I would definitely say go with someone who's like 25 and under, you know, maybe 1 year of experience max, because otherwise, like you can get someone of that for like between 38 and 45 in salary, which is solid, you know, as opposed to like once you get 3 years, SEOs are very, very, very aware of their skills, for the lack of better.
So 38,000 or $38 per hour?
38,000 a year. I'm thinking yearly.
Okay, good. Right.
Yeah. I'm thinking yearly. First, whenever I think local, I'm thinking yearly salary, which breaks down hourly to like, I don't know, like 18 to 22 bucks an hour, which is not bad at all.
Not bad.
So yeah, I'm all about local. We actually, our agent, I just got back from Philadelphia last night, and we now have 38 people working for us locally, which is crazy. But like when I was running Weber's, it was 8 local people, like 15 offshore people, but we hit that peak at like 1 million, 1.2 million in revenue because we weren't like, I didn't have the thought power in-house to help us get to the next level. But as you grow, you just continuously invest in more expensive people, smarter people, you know, people who can take that department ahead without you there. And that's 100% of the reason why we are where we are, and we're going to continue growing. It's because of the people. Like, it's our agency now is less about like, how do we rank this page? And it's more about like, how do we keep our people happy? You know, because they are 100% their own business owners running the business for us while we're, you know, doing other things that are, you know, acquiring clients and stuff like that. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, man.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So you jumping on. All right. Let me see if I can pass the baton here. Let me hit him up on Slack. Also, I think it would be the host. Go digital. Do you have the link to? You can unmute yourself now. Do you have the link to? I think we're good. Actually, I can see you. Go ahead and say something.
Hey, Ryan.
Hey, what's up?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So you, first, thanks for the opportunity, on this first live consulting. This has been an amazing course. So thank you for that.
Appreciate that.
So yeah, I would like to keep this client's information private.
Yep.
So let's refer to it as Go Digital.
Go digital.
Yeah, they're a digital marketing agency, and they have 3 locations. So the scope of the work is basically to do an audit, make recommendations, and implement the best local SEO practices. As I think I mentioned, they have 3 locations. One is a main location where they have a real office, and then the other 2, they don't have a physical location, so they want to use like some type of virtual office thing, to set it up for those other 2 locations.
Sure.
Challenges that I have, the client seems some way disorganized. They don't have processes established, and it's reluctant to fill out the initial onboarding questions.
What?
So his answer was, can you start with what you have? Currently I have access to analytics, Search Console, and GMB. And he says something like, we'll solve questions along the way. I shared with them the questionnaire.
Yeah. And he refused to fill it out.
Yeah, he says it's too long,
I mean, okay. So again, I apologize. I'm going to be continuously interrupting you, so I can just address them. Sure. Number one is that you should. I hope you're not sending the onboarding question as in the blueprint. Like, definitely cut it down for relevancy, or even change it a little bit. Because the way I have it, the way I built it for the course is to have everything in there, right? The whole universe of questions, so you could pick and choose. I wanted to make as little work for you guys as possible, but I would not recommend sending it like that, because it is overwhelming. That's number one. So I understand where he's coming from on that.
Make some changes to it and try to accommodate it to the specific project, because it's a local SEO project.
Okay, so talk to me a little bit more, because before I tear him a new one, talk to me a little bit more about your agency, your client list. And so you work with agencies, is that correct?
Yeah, I'm basically working as a consultant.
That's awesome.
I have several clients in the U.S.
And they're all agencies?
No, they're in different industries.
Okay. Really. I was going to say, actually, like, if you are an agency marketing consultant, that's a huge niche, because for anyone watching this, because no agency markets their own agency. It's kind of ironic. Side note, go ahead, continue though. So this guy that your client has a marketing agency.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, so here are some facts that I have been able to gather along the way.
One more point before you go there, Gus. Sorry, I called you Gus.
That's okay.
Whenever a client is going to fight you, this is just a blanket statement. Again, I understand that sometimes you have to take clients on for revenue reasons, economic reasons. I understand that. But whenever a client or a person that you want to work with refuses to do things, it tells me that they're not engaged and invested, right? They might be paying your check, but it's a huge red flag for a number of reasons. Number one, you're going to be recommending things down the line as a consultant that if he won't fill out a questionnaire, what's going to motivate him to change page titles? What's going to motivate him to set up ads? What's going to create content? All these things are going to be integral to the campaign. If he's not invested, you need to make him invested. Again, I know this is difficult. I know it's easy coming from me sitting here. But I have one of my jobs at the agency now, because the employees don't want to do it, is to have these difficult conversations with clients as the business owner and tell that client, if you want to work with us, you should be privileged, right? We are telling you what to do. If you don't do it, there's a line of people who will do it, right? And we will fire you as a client if you don't do it, if you don't do these things, especially something as small in the beginning. Like, it's one thing if you send them like a huge technical audit and there's 100 things that they have to implement, that's going to take time and you need to work with them to get those things done. But if he won't fill out a questionnaire, you need to assert your authority early on and let him know, you don't need to be rude about it, but just be like, hey, I know it's a lot, but I need this to do my job. You're paying me to do something, and I cannot effectively do my job if you don't hold up your end of the bargain. And I'm asking you to fill out some questions. That's going to help me do my job to help you grow your business. If you can't do that, then this is not going to be a good fit. That's just my 2 cents on it. Sorry, continue.
Right. No. That's great advice. And it's incredible because they are a digital marketing agency. They are also sending questionnaires to their own clients.
Ironic. Yeah, I know.
Ironic. Yeah. Okay. So some facts. The business was basically a web design agency, and they have moved towards a wider spectrum, offering all the services related to digital marketing and consulting. So their main services are web design, web development, digital marketing, and digital consulting. They have also changed its name recently, about a month ago. So they had a domain migration to the new name. Organic and local rankings are really poor, almost none.
Okay.
And because of this change in their name, they need to update their citations.
Okay.
The keywords with most visibility are in the homepage are related to web design and digital marketing, with positions around 20 for web design, and it has like around 1,000 searches per month, and digital marketing position around 23, and like around 150 searches per month.
Okay. The local version of that, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And that's on the homepage or on the
on the homepage. Yeah, the homepage is the homepage is a page that has most strength, really. That's why I thought to start working with the homepage.
So do they have location and services pages set up?
They have, yeah, they did have those locations pages set up, but they need to be fixed. There's quite a few errors.
So talk to me a little bit real quickly about those location pages. Do they have 3 location pages, one for each of their offices?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is the keyword?
In the footer, they have the same location, the same NAP, name, address, and phone number in the 3 locations.
Oh, so they set up 3 pages using the same location.
Yeah.
Have they gotten the other 2 locations verified yet?
No, not yet. Yeah, okay. That needs to be done. Okay. That's also something that needs to be done.
Okay.
And there's I have a question there.
Yeah.
Because in the past I worked with lawyers, helping them with local SEO, and we set up some virtual offices for some locations, and we contacted Google to verify those locations. They requested us to take pictures of the name of the business outside their office, just to make sure that they really have a physical location.
Yeah.
So I don't know how good it is, how it really works to have virtual offices for those other locations, or do you really need to have a physical location?
So if you go to Webris and like you check out our locations, I have 6 locations on Webris and only 1 office. We have 1 physical office in Miami, but this was probably like 2 years ago now though. What I did was I got 5 Regis locations, which I paid to. I invested a lot. I mean, I wanted to do this myself. This was back when I was working with, smaller clients that the leads that come from organic search, we were more qualified for. Now the leads that we get, they pretty much come from referrals or from in-person networking, because we're trying to, like, Target.com isn't searching for like Miami SEO agency, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, the point is that I spent probably I remember it was $250 a month per location with a minimum investment of 3 months. So $750. So it was $750 per location for 3 months times 5. That's how much I spent to get verified locations. And at that time, Google was just sending a postcard. So, and that was for marketing agency. So
you were able to verify those,
and they're still verified to this day. They're all still verified to this day. I don't know if that's changed. I've heard it's gotten a lot harder. Unfortunately, I don't really have many hacks to do this because Google's really cracked down on it. I would say that test it with 1 location. Again, it's not that much of an investment, $250 a month. Have them mail the postcard, and if it sticks, it sticks. If it doesn't, then, it is what it is. But I think that's going to be your best option aside from going and getting a physical space. I mean, and so also with Regis too, I believe as long as you have a mailing location, it should be okay. But it's just something you're going to have to test. And again, talking to the client about this too, it sounds like this client needs a lot of like communication ahead of time, just like letting him know that you've done this with attorneys in the past and that they have required you to have like an actual physical office. There's ways around that too, right? I mean, like if like you call Regis ahead of time and let them know what you're doing, you can like send like a little logo that they can put on a door and like take a picture. It's not that there's ways around it. It's just going to require a little bit more effort for you. But I would say definitely like finding a co-working space that has somebody at that front desk that you can call on the phone and talk to and be like, hey, look, this is what's happening. We're getting a postcard from Google. I need you to make sure you send it to me as soon, like take a picture of it and text it to me as soon as you get it, so I have the code. And then also, like, I may be asking an additional favor of you to like take a physical picture of the office, right? That would be my suggestion, because unfortunately there's just not really like, I know like, so in local client takeover, Mark Luckenbaugh, they have like, I think they have a program to get verified for GMB. I don't know how, I haven't tested it, but I know that Mark is like a beast when it comes to local. I'll send you a link to the group. I'm not sure if you're in it after this. I'll DM it to you, the Facebook group, and you can message him and tell him that I sent you, and he'll give you some additional advice on that.
Okay, great, thanks. Okay, so I was mentioning to you also that the homepage is the strongest page in the site, and they have visibility for digital marketing and web design keywords, and their strongest visibility are for web design keywords, because they used to be like web design agency. So the thing is that the client is concerned about optimizing the homepage with web design or digital marketing related keywords.
What do they want to rank for?
It might hurt in a way the business conversions, current conversions. His words says that people don't search for marketing related services. They are already marketers who are looking for Drupal or WordPress or SEO related services.
What?
So
that didn't make sense. So he said that people are not searching for marketing services.
Yeah, he says that marketing services are not, according to what he's seeing in his business are not converting really for him. And
Yeah.
what is bringing businesses to him are searches related to Drupal, WordPress, or SEO related services.
So what I would do is that you have to basically get on a whiteboard and map out like a new site architecture, and each one of those pages should have a specific page targeting for it. So the homepage, I would use that to be like, I thought you said, does he do web design still or no?
Yeah, he does. He does. And you know, my thoughts were, okay, because the homepage is the strongest page for those two keywords or services in that specific location, then we are creating additional pages, location pages with those services, and we will be trying to migrate those rankings to the new pages. It's going to be a process, of course,
Yeah.
but initially we have to do it with the homepage.
Yeah. So basically, so this is what I was going to say. And I did this with, so like, let me give you an example. So when I first started Weber's, it was a blog, right? It was just Weber's.org. I was using it to just collect my thoughts on marketing. This is probably like 5 years ago now, 6 years ago. And then over time, because I was getting a lot of like local links, the homepage ranked for, so actually what happened was at that time, I was like, well, you know what? I might as well make the homepage. Let me just try and rank this for Miami SEO agency, right? Because I might as well get some conversion value out of this too. So naturally the homepage ranked for Miami SEO agency, right? And then, you know, again, over time, I was like, man, you know what? Like, I don't really like the homepage ranking for that, because if I can rank the homepage, maybe I can rank 6 other locations too, which is exactly where you are right now, right? So then I set up a location subfolder, and then in that locations folder, I have Miami SEO, New York SEO, Boston SEO. We rank for pretty much all of them now, right? So what I had to do with the homepage though was a couple of things. Number one was I had to change the relevancy of that homepage. So number one was to make the homepage like niche up. So like, I didn't want to be just an SEO agency, so I made the homepage a digital marketing agency, right? So like, instead of targeting the homepage for SEO, I made the homepage Weber's digital marketing agency. That does encompass web design, SEO, Facebook. That encompasses the whole thing, right? That's kind of like the brand splash page. Then what I did, I went through all the backlinks on the homepage that were linking with relevancy to Miami SEO. So I looked for anchor text that had Miami in it. I looked for anything talking about SEO, and I reached out to those links and I said, hey, you know, would you mind switching your link from our homepage to our new locations page, right? So that was number one. That actually number two, right? Number one was changing the topical relevance of the homepage to not just talk about SEO, to talk about more holistic digital marketing, right? And then I did backlink outreach to change the actual physical links to that locations page. And it took about 6 months, but now that locations page ranks for Miami SEO, and the homepage is more of a branded splash page, right? The homepage is always going to be your most powerful page because it has the most links. It's the page that people see the most. But on the homepage too, which is important, is you want a deep link to those locations or services pages, right? So now if you go to our Weber's homepage, you'll see that I added a section at the bottom that has all of our locations that links directly to those pages. So now we're using the power and authority of the homepage to pass link equity into those pages, right? That's telling search engines that anything you link to on the homepage is going to be pretty much your second most important page on the website. So what I would go to him and say is, I would say, look, we need to remap your whole website. Literally get on the whiteboard and be homepage, services pages, locations pages. And then assigning one keyword. I know it's hard, but assigning one keyword each. So if he wants to, I agree, like Drupal is a great keyword, because if somebody's searching for Drupal, they know that they need that service, and like they know what Drupal is, they just need help. So that's a long tail that has a lot more intent than I agree with than like digital marketing. Like if you're searching for digital marketing agency, you're still browsing. If you're searching for Drupal marketing agency, you're ready to get on the phone tomorrow, right? So what I would do, and this is a lot of work, he needs to understand this is going to be a lot of work if he wants to get to where he wants to be, is he needs to go through the time to create all of those individual pages. That means copywriting, design, get all those pages built out for each of those services, also by location, and then go through that process. And then he needs to rethink the homepage in terms of from a UX and copywriting point of view. So if he's telling you that, hey, look, we don't want to be just like, you can still put Drupal on the homepage. But what I would do is I would use the homepage more to focus on results, right? Because that's what people really give a shit about is, can you get results? So I would focus on page on results, services offered, testimonials if you have any, the team that he has, if they've got like a big team, stuff like that. And then like maybe their locations, right? If you can put all that on the homepage, that tells the right story to people that are coming. And you can still rank for digital marketing agency, which is going to be the biggest search keyword out of all those things. So like finding the keyword data with the thought process of, hey, look, we're not trying to reduce conversions. We're trying to make your website more focused. So when people come to that page, they know what they're getting and they're going to convert more. We just have to separate these things and organize them. So I would do that URL architecture on a whiteboard, mapping out all the pages, mapping out how they're going to interlink, mapping out the hierarchy of the website, and then going through and mapping out the content of each of those pages. And then going back to the homepage and being like, okay, now we have all these pages. We've got a page for Facebook. We've got a page for design, development, Drupal, that's underneath all that, SEO. What story does this tell? What are we as a company? And he's probably going to be like, we're a digital agency. That's what the homepage should be targeting for keywords. It will rank very well for that, which again, then you can go to and be like, hey, look, also, I know that this might not have the most conversion value to, but it is the biggest search keyword. And we do want to map that to the homepage. Right. And then once that's done too, just a final word of warning is that if you're going to create all these new pages on this website, the website might not have the authority. I can't see the website obviously, but the website might not have the authority to rank for all those pages, right? So you're going to have to go through and do some heavy link building to complement all this stuff.
Right. Yeah. Right. And talking about link building, I know you recommend Node.js for link building, so I'm gonna be looking into that too.
Yeah. I mean,
because the linked profiles is also poor when I compare it to competitors in the area.
Yeah, I mean, what I would always recommend first would be Ken, just an FYI, we can see your screen. You might want to turn off your screen sharing. But yeah, there you go. Just as an FYI, I do recommend Node.js. I do recommend DFY links. I have no problem with link vendors, but like what I always recommend is obviously doing link building the long way for outreach, which probably isn't in the budget that he's paying you for the time of that. But like I would probably go to him with a recommendation. If he has a really weak link profile, I would probably tell him that he should probably engage a PR agency, a local PR agency that can get him local press. That will be by far the best thing he can do for link building. It's probably going to be pretty expensive, but again, it will pay off in the long run. And after you go through that process of getting like those locally relevant links, getting featured in like local press, whatever that may be, then you can go out and start getting pretty aggressive looking no BS links. And the site will really pick up.
Okay. Yeah. Another question, Ryan. When we are working in local SEO, I know, or this is my question, the site has like around 500 pages or so. I can't remember real well in this moment, but what I see is there's a lot of duplicate pages and indexation problems. And so I think we need to work on that too, because if you want to concentrate all these efforts in your link juice and stuff for these location pages, you have to get rid of all those garbage pages on the site, right? I mean, we need to clean up the indexation of the site.
Absolutely. That is 100% why we built the website quality audit. It's the perfect tool for that. The perfect tool. It takes a little bit of time, but like it's also a good way to kind of like show your client, to get them to understand like all the crap that they have on their website. The website quality audit is perfect for that. Literally built for that purpose.
Okay. All right. I think that's what I had, Ryan. So thank you.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I appreciate you guys participating.
I appreciate it.
Awesome. All right, guys, I'm gonna sign off because I do have a 1 o'clock that I gotta jump into. But for the other 6 of you guys here, I appreciate you guys tuning in. And definitely hit that form. If you guys have any questions, like I said, I want to try and do these. If you guys submit enough questions and want to do this more, I'm happy to do these weekly. This is really like the type of value that I want you guys to get out of the blueprint. The training stuff is awesome. The Slack group is awesome, but we can really solve some major problems here for you guys if you guys want to participate. So yeah, appreciate you guys tuning in, and I'll catch up in Slack, guys.